I believe that GCC is one of the most exciting regions in the world right now. Obviously, the markets, volatility, wars going on, people get distracted by it. But what we've seen with all GCC countries, including UAE, Saudi Arabia, they all have very big, ambitious plans for ESG, different things in terms of cutting emissions, not relying on oil. Now the difference is all the big family offices, all the different funds, including the families of a lot of the top executives, they actually want to come and relocate to Abu Dhabi and various places in the GCC. That shows you that it's become a cosmopolitan city, not just a financial city. So this is very exciting. So you're attracting all the best people from all over the world to come. Not before it was just attracting the top executives, now you're attracting the top families, and that's very interesting. So people are doing more here and seeking more opportunities. So I believe that the next 10, 20 years here is going to be booming. I believe that next year is going to be a super exciting year with Trump coming in. I think there's a lot of people in China, for instance, were a bit wary of Trump coming in with tariffs and so forth. But in Chinese, we also have a saying that 危機 in Cantonese means crisis. It means opportunity also becomes a crisis also has an opportunity. And through that, when he comes in, that will cause a lot of reactions, a lot of resets, a lot of new policies coming in that will create a lot of opportunities in other places. For example, the last few months we had a lot of action in the BRICS. Will there be a new currency coming to counter the US? What will happen when the tariffs come in? China, what will they do? So it's very exciting for us. In GCC and Southeast Asia, two regions I'm very burgeoning, thinking that there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. So I think GCC, even though with all the, I guess, the so-called distraction of war and instability, but we're seeing that real estate prices coming up. We have the launch of the metro in Riyadh recently. Abu Dhabi is booming. People are living here now instead of just commuting just to stay in a job. People want to move to Saadiyat Island and different places, and all the museums coming up, and it's just excellent to be here. I think personally China is such an old culture with 5,000-year history. You can never write China off. We are going through a bit of a blip now, but I think with two recent big stimuli from the government, I think this will continue. I think the government will continue to keep funding money into the system in order to drive domestic spending and so forth. One thing that as a family office, what we're looking at is renewable and ESG initiatives. For example, with the tariffs coming in, with Trump coming in the US doing a lot more, I guess, non-ESG related initiatives, I think this gives China an opportunity to do more in the space of carbon credits. So we're very excited to look at more renewables, and if China cannot directly do more business with the US, then we look for other partners, such as in the Middle East or Southeast Asia. For us personally in our family office, we're looking at AI, we're looking at renewables, and also how digital infrastructure could be done. The UAE, for example, we're here in Business Week. UAE is in such a strategic location. It's doing the most business out of all the Arab nations with China, and it's continuing to grow both from China investing into the UAE and vice versa. We need to ride on this geopolitical friendship, and UAE is very welcoming of China coming in. I think this is a lot of opportunity for Chinese investors to come to the UAE, but also for the UAE government to do more in China. I believe that the digital side is something that could not be ignored.